everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you tonight? I just realized that it's Thursday and I was going to go on with my evening. I was starting to feel so tired today. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get on and I have to say something to you all about the hair and something for Thursday. So I'm going to time myself and I'm going to try my best to keep a long video. Hello for coming in. I know it's late and I apologize if it's too late. If you're in another country, this may not be too late, or maybe you probably sleep. But I want to talk about the no oils, no butter situation. So my name is Patrice D'Evans. I am the Minister of Joy. My main channel is Patrice D'Evans, so check it out. I have Sunday messages at 2 o'clock live, so I hope you can join me and be blessed. And I moved all my hair stuff here, so there's a lot of hair stuff on my other channel that will let you know who I am and where I've been able to contribute to the natural hair community. Right now I'm going through a protective styling, and I actually was at the gym today with this, and I took a nap, and then and by the way, y'all, for all of y'all coming in to find out what I've been up to, I did cover it up here with my hack that I have that I could definitely link in the end if you're interested. So without further ado, I want to talk to you a little bit about the no oils, no butters. And I've been looking at some videos to learn a little bit about it. I'm still learning more about it. I haven't learned everything that there is to know about it, but I know the gist. And it is about detoxing your hair, it seems like. It seems like, well, for some years now, the professional stylists and hairdressers have been talking about how they're really concerned with the natural hair community going on YouTube to learn how to do our hair. Because while, if I could just paraphrase for them, it sounds like, well, a lot of it sounds good based on science. A lot of we're overdoing it with the oils and the butters, and it's actually, I guess, very bad for the hair because the hair needs to be clean. And it sounds like they're saying that we're losing the moisture rather than gaining it. Like, we know that we need moisture in our hair. I'm trying to just surmise what I think they're saying, is that we all know we need moisture. We figured that out, that the biggest thing is moisture for our hair. And what we're thinking we're doing is that the oils are going to help either lock in the moisture, or we're going to get the nutrients from the oil as we put the moisture, whatever the case is. But we have gotten really, really, from their perspective, I think we've gotten a little obsessed with the oils and the butters, and we're losing sight on the main point, which is the moisturizing the hair. I hope that I've summarized it well. If you are a hairdresser, please let me know in the comments if you think that I have. So I'm still learning, and I will update you in the videos to come more, whatever I learned in terms of exactly how to do it. You can go ahead and look that up. So I'm not here to tell you how to do it or that I'm going to do it or anything like that. I just wanted to talk about it. And if you were up, that you would be able to share with me what you know about it and what you think about it. On the surface of the little bit that I do know about it, I think it's really interesting, and I think it is time to bring in the professionals into the natural hair community and have them speak. I do think that that's important. I do understand that we have basically said no hairdressers. It's like part of the natural hair journey. We don't want them cutting our hair. We don't trust them, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I get that it's been hard for hairdressers because I've also heard that once you've tried to do it on your own, you go quietly, nobody's saying it on YouTube, quietly to the hairdresser to fix it. There's a lot of quietly going to the hairdresser, fix my hair, it's falling apart. And so these hairdressers are getting frustrated because they're learning these things from non-professionals, and they are just doing all these things on their hair, and then it's damaging it in whatever way. And then they have to fix it, but they're not getting any play on YouTube. And, like they're the enemy, So I totally get what's going on. I believe there has to be a balance. And I like to tell you what I think about it in general. So while I respect them as the professionals, and we all know they know the science behind hair, they understand it. But I have to say that when the natural hair community started getting serious about teaching and learning about our natural hair, the stylists didn't really know about natural hair. They had to go back and learn about natural hair with us. We've been learning together. But what they were doing is taking the science that they learned and applying it to what they were learning. And they were disagreeing with a lot of things they were hearing because the science didn't make sense to them. So it's been this battle between what my hair is flourishing. But it shouldn't be flourishing because the science doesn't work. So I think we have to find the happy medium. And I'm here to tell you my little take on it from the surface. And then I'm going to dig deeper. And if I learn more, I'll definitely get a follow-up video letting you know more. But from the surface, I still don't 100% trust professional stylists because I think they do a cookie cutter thing. I think a lot of things have been European driven with white hair and straight, hair that's easier to manage. And I think now that we do have natural hair stylists, they will know, and you got to get the good ones, the ones that really know our hair. Now you can go to a stylist probably for your hair these days because we have natural hairstylists. They know about natural hair. And so I would definitely go to a really good one if you really don't know how to take your hair. Now, that's the issue here. You can go on YouTube and they always say, learn your hair. I believe, this is my opinion, if you want to hear from me, I believe you do need to learn your own hair. That means you need to touch your natural hair on a regular basis for a period of time and learn how it works. But what you really need to do is you need to maybe work with a professional if you really don't think that if you don't think you're doing a good job of gauging, not everybody, some people are tone deaf. So they can't tell when the notes are right. Some people can't cook. They can't tell when it's too salty, the food, and when it's not. And some people can't tell, you know what I mean, when the perfume's too strong. So if you're one of those people that can't quite tell when you're too heavy-handed with oil or too heavy-handed with butters, or you're doing things too much and you can't trust yourself. Some people have addictive personalities where when they like something, they overeat it or they overdo it. So if you really can't trust yourself and you know that you're not going to balance things and do things the way you should be, that means you're a product junkie and you're putting too many things. Most of us are, most naturals are in the beginning anyway. If you can tell when you're not able, let's say you found a YouTube video where the person says, leave your hair alone for a month and just do these things once a week. And you literally cannot stick to a simple routine. If you've done everything, you cannot stop getting your hands in your hair. You can't stop doing it. You do too much. Someone said, then you probably can't trust yourself. The only time I believe that you really should be doing this detox possibly, and you should be going to a professional, is when you know you cannot trust yourself with your own hair. And that needs to be addressed in the natural hair community. While we all should know our hair, there's a point where you need to know yourself and know that you aren't always the best person for your hair. And that's why there's a percentage of us not growing our hair. And that's why we keep watching all these videos and never growing it, because you're watching them do it, but you don't have the ability to feel when your hair feels dry, when it feels, you know what I mean? There's a percentage of us that just can't figure that out. And that is okay, because not everyone has the ability to do everything. I've always loved. And then the other thing with YouTube is that you have a lot of professionals on YouTube that are acting like they're just stumbling upon things. So you might have a hairdresser that maybe they're like a pseudo hairdresser, because I have a sister who did hair for the neighborhood. She's not a hairdresser, but she had the gift. I always thought in African communities, tribes, there were always that girl that knew how to do hair. She's that girl in the tribe. She just knows how to do hair. She just has the gift, and your hair will grow. And I definitely love hair too, and I'm good, but I'm just not like exactly like her, but I definitely good with hair. So here I am coming up here acting like I'm just like everybody else, but I actually have a gift with hair, with fake hair, so a lot of these people that you see on YouTube happen to also have some gifts with hair. So, and with their hair at least. So you may not, and you need to own it. If you know you are a hot mess, not everybody has a green thumb. I know I don't. I haven't had the time to see a green thumb. I haven't had a lifestyle where I can sit and learn how to grow plants. So if you don't have that time, when I started making my product line, which I'll show you now, my growth oil and all this, the ladies were saying, I said, I did the whole video on YouTube where I showed you how I made it. He said, I don't have time. So can you make it for me? And so I said, wow, I never thought of it that way. At least they're honest. They're like, I'm not going to do what you just did. You can tell me a million times, but I'm not going to do what you just did. And so I made my growth oil. I made the clay, all that other stuff, and I'll show that in a minute. But that's where I think this no butter, no oil came from, is that group of people who just don't know how to really do what's right with their hair. Either that or they're hard-headed, they're following the wrong people. You can't be your own judge of your own hair. If you're not the best judge of your own hair, you need to let the professionals take over. If you think that the only way you're going to know is if your hair's thriving, if it's growing and thriving, if it's healthy, if it has elasticity, if you don't have it breaking at the ends, if you have not been able to solve that over a 6-month period of knowing your hair, then you can't do it. Let go and let a professional take care of your hair. And so that's my take on that. And in that same vein, this no oil, no butters thing, that's for people who didn't realize that they were overdoing the oils and butters. They're those same people. And so if you're feeling like you're that person, then you probably should detox your hair. And I could see where people were overdoing butters. For example, when learning my hair, realized that I have fine hair and it's low porosity. It's extremely low porosity. So I definitely do the LCO method. I don't see how anyone could do this LOC method because how do you put oils before cream? It just blocks the cream. But I never understood that. But I guess that was for the high porosity. To me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But I figured, okay, that's just for different hair. But now that this is coming out, people are starting to see that that might not be the best thing. I do still believe in sealing my hair with oil. However, it's the last step for someone like me. And it would be the last step, I think, for any kinky curly 4 type or anybody with kinky curly hair. So I still believe in it. But this is the thing. I don't use butters. I'm like, hello. And the reason why is because I understand that my hair always needs to be completely stripped and clarified in order for things to work. So I know I have to go through the process every week of stripping my hair of everything that it has on it as gently as possible, clean it squeaky clean every week. I must do that so that I can begin all over again. And if I know I have to do that, I cannot be having heavy things that make it hard for me to strip it. I already know that about my hair. So if you are aware of how to take care of your hair and it's working, and the only way you know that is over time it's growing, you're not breaking at the ends, things are working, then you are doing your hair fine. And you can go into one of the specialists to check it every so often to make sure. There's somebody on YouTube that does that once in a while, like once a year, she goes to get it checked just to see if she's on the right track. You can do that. I think now that we have natural hairstylists, now is a safe time to go to them because now they get it. They get our texture. They're specializing in it, and now we can trust them better. Back in the day, we probably couldn't have because they didn't learn what we were all learning together. If they had known, they would have done videos themselves, right? So we were all learning at the same time, including them. And they learned from the videos too, and they applied the stuff that they learned from school, and they figured it out. But you can't tell me they knew it before we did. Everybody was learning at the same time. So that's so now that we are where we are today, I totally encourage you to go to professionals. Go to a professional, get a trim. Go to professionals they're the best in the area. Now, for someone like me, and if you're like me, where nothing is good for your hair, like I can't perm it, I can't dye it. I think I just did a 6-month challenge where I was supposed to grow 3 inches all over my head. I grew it on the crown and in the back, which is really where I wanted to grow it. But right in the front, I didn't grow anything, barely. I trimmed it once, a good trim. But I thought, even though I trimmed about that much, I thought, oh, this is a lot of months. I got something. But because I did this light dye, see this light dye? I did the dye. I did textures and tones from Claro Professional. It's supposed to be the gentlest dye that there is. I believe my hair fell out, even with the lightest dye. So I believe I lost all of that because it was stripped out and it wasn't even being combed or anything. It was in protective. So my natural hair is so delicate that I personally don't go to a stylist for that reason. Because what's normal for everybody else, I'm so delicate, my hair, that I can't do anything. I don't blow dry my hair. I've never done that since I don't think I've done it since it's been natural. I can't do a flat iron. I can't do anything to it. So because I'm so delicate, I can't afford for anyone to oops on my hair. That's a stylist, you know what I mean? So, and it's not that hard to manage my hair, and I get my hair, I know it. So I feel like I'm good. Now I may go to get a check up, like I'd say, I'd love to just see what you think of my hair. What do you think of my hair? Is my hair, am I on the right track? So I would do something like that possibly. But in terms of cutting it or doing anything to my hair, I probably wouldn't go to a professional because of that. So you don't have to. And I don't feel like I need to detox my hair. I don't think all of us need to be detoxing our hair because there are a group of people overdoing it. Come on now. It's a trend, and it's making people have something to talk about in the natural community because we haven't had anything to talk about in a while. But I feel like, well, I've had this in for so long. I guess that's detoxing because I haven't been doing much to it. But I don't think everybody needs it. I think those who have overdone the butters and like high porosity, if you're high porosity and you use a lot of butters, then think about that. Even though you're not low porosity, you probably need to you still need to clean your hair. And I could see where people who did maximum hydration, they did the pre-pooing too much, like we did. Remember, so we can overdo things thinking we are doing the right thing for our hair, but there's a balance. My thing that I would say, if you're not needing to or wanting to do a detox and do this no oil, no butters, is to begin to do a weekly cleanse. And I'm talking about stripping it clean, squeaky clean every week, and start out layering all over again. And maybe throw out the LOC method and do the LCO method. Make the last thing the oil. And I don't believe in butters for my hair because that's too much. I'm already anticipating how am I going to get these butters out of my hair when I cleanse it next week. So I don't even put the butters. And because my hair is already low porosity, it's already laid down, I don't need to help it too much. So the oils are there to give it the nutrition, the strength, and everything that it needs. And so I still believe in oils. And I do believe in putting it on my scalp. I believe in putting my ends. I believe it is making a huge difference on my ends being so fragile that my hair is. I would not stop using oils at this point for anybody. I'm going to do more research. And if I find out there's something great about it that I didn't know, I'm going to come back, put my tail between the legs and say, guys, you know what? Hey, I put my tail between the legs and I will admit it. But going at this point, I don't think everybody has to do no oils and no butter. I don't think that's for everyone. If you are doing well, I say weekly now. Cleanse your hair, strip it weekly. They've been saying that from day one. It's just like carbs and the keto diet. People have been saying no carbs, no sugar for years. So now the keto diet comes around and actually really gives you a measurement. It's the same concept, but they're like driving it home and helping you really hone in on it. And I think it works for me. So I think this thing should be seen the same way. Hey, ladies, how are y'all? So Esther and Catherine, y'all up late too? So I don't always do it this late, but I got busy and I was so tired today. And so I just said, oh my gosh, I got to hurry up and do it before the night's over. So anyway, I just wanted to give y'all this message, but the no oils, no butters, what we're talking about, and detoxing, they're supposed to go a month detoxing. I think that's great for like, if you feel like it's been years that you've just been doing this routine and you want to kind of restart your hair, do something different to get it started again. Or if you've been wondering what's wrong with my hair, it's just not doing what it normally does. I need to just like stop everything and start. Maybe I've been doing the wrong routine. I don't know. So it's a good restart. Maybe you'll use it for that. If you know, and you know that if you've been overdoing the butters and stuff, then maybe you need to do that. If you're somebody who wants to go to a professional and have them help you do it, you can do that. But I don't think it's for everybody, and I don't think everybody should jump on the bandwagon just because everybody's doing it. I don't think, even though I'm protective styling, I wouldn't do it because I love my oils, and I know I do enough oils. And the other thing is doing oils on your scalp. You don't want to smother it. Be aware of your scalp breathing. There are times to put oil on the scalp, and then there are times to take the oil off the scalp. You need to always, if I can drill anything home, is that strip your hair of everything once a week completely. And if you don't think butters will will come out of your hair once a week if you put them in, then you shouldn't use them. That means it's too much. If whatever you're putting in your hair won't leave your hair because you can't get it out, then don't put it on your hair. Yes, my hair, well, that mine is completely opposite. It's fine hair and I can't do butters. It's too thick for my hair. My hair is fine and low porosity, and butters are way too thick for my hair. And if you're going to clean your hair once a week, butters are way too heavy. I think butters are too heavy for fine hair. But if you think it loves butters, great. I would normally, when I do butters, if I were to do it in the winter, I would totally dilute it with some oil. So I would take my oil and put a little butter in there and just kind of just to seal it if I'm going to try to keep it sealed for a longer time. But remember, I'm always anticipating I got to strip all this out by Saturday. And it's got to come out of my hair. Every drop of oil and butter must come out of your hair once a week. So that means think about it when you're putting it in. Is it too much to be taken out of my hair? You know what I mean? So that's what you should do. So if you do butters and you if you do a lot of butters, then maybe you should look into the no butters, no oil detox and see if your hair responds better with that or not. Yeah, look into it and see if that's how you can tell if you're not getting, because oils and butters, this is important to know. And before I close, let me make sure you know this part. Oils and butters block oil and block water. You know, water and oil don't mix, right? So when you use oils to block water, right? So with the LCO method, which is what I use and low porosity people use, is that we put the liquid, the water, we put the cream. I do a leave-in. I believe in that, but in this detox, they don't believe in the leave-ins because there's some oils in there. I do that because it does help me. And then to lock in that moisture, I put oil, and I put a nice generous amount of oil on top. If you have high porosity, thick hair, then butters are better because it really will help you. If you have thicker hair, I always thought it was for thick hair and for high porosity. That's better. But once you put an oil or a butter, you can't really put water on top of that and think it's going to get in your hair, because now you've blocked anything that comes after the oil. That's why I've never understood the LOC method. That doesn't even make sense to me. Unless you're doing a hot oil treatment, you're going to sit under the heat. I don't get that. It's blocking the water. So I'm sure there's an explanation for it. But remember, oils and butters block water. So you block water that's on the outside and you block the water from the inside from coming out. That's why we used it. That's why the Black community discovered that we needed to seal in moisture. So it's the last step to seal in moisture. It should be the last step to seal in moisture. If you have fine hair, you don't need butters. You do light oils, a light oil, and just seal it in. If you have low porosity, you don't need butters because you're already closed. Your cuticles are closed. So you don't need a lot of help closing your cuticles. And you got to open it back up within a week. So you don't need to be really piling stuff on, because you got to strip all that off and start all over again. And you'll give yourself more work every week if you put heavier oils and butters. This is what we should be talking about. Not about completely detoxing necessarily, or don't ever do your own hair and go to a stylist. It's more balance it. And if you're the one in charge, can you trust yourself? Do you overdo stuff? Or do you know how to balance it? Can you treat yourself like you are a hairstylist and balance everything out and not overdo it? Should fine hair have butters? Look into it. If you have thick hair, should you have, you know what I mean? Make sure you're giving your hair what it really should have. Maybe go to a stylist and have them critique your hair and get you started on a good journey. So the moral of all of this is that learn your natural hair on your own. You can kick it off by going to a natural hairstylist, because now we finally have good ones. Find the best in your area. You got to find a good one. If you have to go on a Zoom, do that. Okay. And make sure that they're helping you. You have to go in person probably because they have to touch it. That they're getting you off on a good start and you trust them. Or do it yourself and see if you're capable of being the person that's best for your hair, because you may not be. If in 6 months you're not seeing some flourishing, you're getting dried out hair, you're not doing something right. Maybe you can't quite trust yourself. Maybe you do need somebody else to help you. Okay, so maybe this is a nice shift for the natural hair community to say, okay, we all try to take care of our own hair. Now maybe we should step out and get some help now that we have stylists that understand the natural hair community And if we're going to stay taking care of ourselves, we need to strip our hair once a week and deep condition it once a week. You must do that. That's the other thing. If so, and if you do that, just keep. I'm repeating this because it's very important. If you're going to strip your hair once a week, what are you putting in during the week that's going to make it so hard to strip it? So don't put that in your hair. Put lighter things as your sealant. And after you seal it, then you can also put on gels and stuff. Just know you're not going to get much moisture in after you put butters and oils there. That's just there to style it. It's not doing anything. Now, day 2, 3, the oil might have already seeped in and you might be able to get something in there maybe. But if you're low porosity like me, I already know that, I'm kind of masking it at that point. So after I've done it, when I don't have my protective style, after I've done my set hairstyle, I probably have moisture for about 2 to 3 days or so that's decent. And then I'm because I'm losing some of that oil, my oil isn't as fresh. It's going in my hair. It's absorbing more. Now, if I spray a little water, it may help a little, but I'm never going to get the moisture I got from my wash day until I get another wash day. So I can moisturize it. I can steam it a little bit, get something in from a hot steam. I could do a little bit of moisturizing there to revitalize it a little bit. Or I can start all over again in the middle of the week and just rinse it and saturate it with water. But if there's oil in there, I'm still not. See, a lot of us think we're getting water just because our hair looks curly, but it's sitting on top. It's not going in. It's not fully absorbing until you have a wash day where you strip it. So get used to stripping. So let me give you a little tip on stripping. Shea Moisture does have that really strong shampoo that strips it. I don't use that all the time, but if I absolutely want to detox my hair, that's one that I would do. I use the tea tree from J.O.Y, and I use their conditioner as well, mixed in with my conditioner that I make. I'll show you if you're new to my channel. So I have the honey. The Lord led me to do that. And I'll show you all of my stuff. This is my gel, natural gel, and this is the clay that goes with the oil. So all my stuff is natural. Well, that's good that they're promoting natural because maybe y'all can use my product, but that is something that's being promoted with this no oil, no butters. So that would be the conditioner and the gel is what they're saying, and I do have that if you're interested. So go to ayurvedicurls.com if you want to get that. It's homemade. It's flaxseed gel, as it's like a custard. And the conditioner is honey, all types of honey, manuka honey. It's amazing. So anyway, the tip that I do to detox and what I do once a week is, and you can look at my wash day routine, is I'll do the wash. I'll wash it with the shampoo from Tea Tree and just really strip it with my shampoo. I don't think there's no silicones or anything, but it's really a shampoo. So I really clean it. Don't be afraid to clean your hair. They've been saying that forever. And now we're finally able to really see why we need to stop. Just like the keto diet. Now we really need to realize that that's why we've been saying it. Don't do pre-poos only. Shampoo your hair and clean it. So after you've cleaned it and really stripped it, it's like squeaky clean. Go back in with Rosso Clay. My Rosso Clay cleans and hydrates at the exact same time. I don't like bentonite because I think it strips it. Now that is a detox too that you can use. Now, if you really want to detox and strip it, you can use bentonite clay as well to do that. It gets the protein out, it gets everything out. But then I would soften it with something right after that because it's just so drying. I don't like bentonite clay with my hair, but I love Rosso Clay. I love it. It feels so good. And if you get bentonite clay, add aloe vera powder in it, and that should soften it a little bit. But after you shampoo your hair, replenish it with a natural shampoo, which is Rosso Clay. I get my scalp, I get it, I clean that thing with low porosity. You've got to strip all of the stuff out. So I get it all in there. Sometimes I let it sit and let it really get clean, and then I wash it all out. And then you can see it's amazing. Rosso Clay will hydrate while it cleans. It's amazing. And I have a whole video on it. And once you clean it, you'll see your ringlets, you'll see your all of your clumps, everything is beautiful. Then you can start hydrating again. You already started with Rosso Clay. Now you can start putting your deep conditioner in there, your favorite deep conditioner in there, steam it in there, get it in there really good. If you're going to do what they say do, you don't have to do a leave-in if you don't want to. I still will do one for me, but if you want to do what they're saying to do, they say to just do that, skip the oil and do the gel. I would now lock in with my, after I steam it, then I rinse that out and then I put a leave-in and steam that in. And then I will put a light oil to lock in the moisture. And then I would wrap the gel in. That's what I would do. That I'm going to continue to do that. And you can take that advice if you want. So this is my advice for anybody who doesn't want to do the no oil, no butter detox because you don't think you need it. And maybe you want to just try to switch over to being more deliberate with stripping your hair every week and cleaning everything out and then doing the deep conditioning all over again. If you're so far gone that you can't get that out, then you probably should do the 30-day detox. So that's my 2 cents. I hope that helped y'all. I really love you so much. Thank you for staying up late with me. I'll try to come out a little earlier, but y'all know I have so much going on. So I love you so much. I'm going to let y'all go to bed. And let me say hi. Okay, I will try. Good. I know what you mean, girl. You don't trust anybody with your fine strands. Me either, girl. I can't afford it. So I have to figure my hair out myself. So, stick with me. I'll share with you what I do. Somebody told me, you should make these smaller braids. I'm like, my hair's too fine because if I'm pulling on this, I can't be having tiny cornrows pulling on all that fine hair. I need thicker braids so that I don't pull out my hair. So I can't do things like everybody else with this fine hair. It's very limiting what you can do with fine hair because then all your hard work goes in vain. Wouldn't you agree, Esther? Anyway, I feel like I've seen you around. I know that name. So anyway, did you buy my product, Esther? If you're still there, I think you did. Your name looks so familiar from way back. Well, anyway, I want to get going and let y'all get some sleep. I love you all so much. And this is my 2 cents on the no oils, no butters. I want to hear everyone's comments, whether you agree. Let's start this discussion because whenever there's a trend, people just do it without thinking. So I don't want you to just jump on it thinking that you are one of the people that need it. Not necessarily, but maybe with your fine hair doing butters, you might want to try it. To see if you would get more moisture if you didn't, because the fine hair and shea butter, I wonder how that works. Okay, see if it, maybe try for a week and see what happens and monitor it. Look into exactly what it is. They're saying to just do 3 things. I think they're saying to wash it, condition it, no leave-in, and just put in a gel, a natural gel, like a botanical gel. That's what they're saying. They're saying don't put, and they said if you do use any kind of conditioner or leave-in or anything, which they're saying not leave-in, I think, it needs to be the 4th or 5th item. The oil or butter must be the 4th or 5th item on the list of ingredients. So just look it up. I'll give you more specifics the next time, and I'll look into it more to tell you more. But I just want to encourage you to really make sure this is for you. If a rule of thumb would be if you're using butters, that you might want to look into it if you don't have thick hair and high porosity hair. And if you don't think you're really cleaning that butter off, if you're using a lot of oil every day, then you probably should look into it. I think those are some little signs that this could be good for you. And if you feel like your hair is always dry, is your hair always dry, Esther? Do you feel like it gets dry often and it's hard to keep it moisturized? Because that could be the issue. And I think I've been feeling since I've been a YouTuber talking about hair that people are not getting this whole strip it first. They're not getting that stripping thing part. I know that word doesn't sound good, but cleaning it squeaky clean. We're just not doing that. And we're not getting that deep condition it once a week. We're not getting the, you know what I'm saying? So yes, you feel like it's dry sometimes. Okay, so then you might be, that's what they're addressing people like you then. If you feel like your hair is dry a lot, they're saying that's why. They're saying that's why. And they're saying that if you try the method, there are 2 women who came up with it. There were 2 stylists. I don't know their names, but you can look them up. And they said, if you try this detox for 30 days and you see a difference, then you can get your hair back on track. It'll get it back on track and get moisture back in it. And then you can start a better regimen and implement things that are better for your type of hair, So that is what I want to share with you all. I want to make sure we're in on the loop of what's going on with the natural hair community and that you hear what I think of it from my perspective. Okay? Well, let me know what you're thinking. Comment below. I love you so much. Get some sleep. I think, are you saying yes about buying the product or your hair? I don't know. Email me, girl. Okay. Patrice D'Evans1 at gmail.com. Okay. All right. I love you so much. Y'all get some sleep. Bye.